Bournemouth play Chelsea this weekend on Sunday, the final game of the Premier League season. Bournemouth going for the top half, hopefully. Chelsea going for European football. We're going to be going through Chelsea's weaknesses that Bournemouth can exploit and Chelsea's strengths that we need to watch out for, which I think there might be a few more of because Chelsea are on good form. Joined by Kyle today, who does loads of really good football kit content on TikTok and Instagram Reels. So I'll put all his I'll put all his links in the description. So make sure you go and check him out and drop a sub to me if you can. Drop a follow to him, and that's all good. Let's get into it. His username just there if you want to go and search it in, or just hit the links in the description. Last night, Chelsea beat Brighton 2-0. How did you feel the game went, Carl?
It was all right. I'm guessing that, Palmer, he's speechless. How he keeps scoring every single week, he's carrying us. It's good that Madueke's starting to play. I'm a bit gutted. I think, did we concede at the end? Was it cancelled or was it 2-0?
No, it did count. It was 2-1. Danny Welbeck.
Yeah. It's a bit gutting. But I can't believe that we are here considering the beginning of the season. Just the fact we're in the top half is just mental. And yeah, I love that Nkunku scored. Finally got to see the balloon celebration, which was worth it. Definitely worth it.
Is that his first goal for you?
I think he scored one. I know it was in the third kit, like in one of his first appearances. He scored, and then he got injured again. But 2 goals, how much he paid for him is not good enough, considering how much he was scoring in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, I mean that was his 10th Premier League game, and I personally think he's been good when he's played. But yeah, it's just the injuries that.
Off the left yesterday, he was brilliant, and it's quite annoying because he's now coming into the team. But then Jackson, for some reason, he's learned how to play football this second half. At the beginning of the season, he was horrible to watch, but now he's started to come into his own. But then he's going to eventually get benched for Nkunku, I'm guessing. Or if Poch can find a way to play both of them, it'd be even better.
Yeah, I mean, because you have a lot of exciting attackers, like you mentioned all of them: Madueke, Palmer, Nkunku, Jackson. But yeah, Jackson's because I don't know if you remember, in January of last season, we were linked with him, and we were going to sign him, and it went through to the medical, and our team basically said, "Don't sign him. This guy's injured," and he was probably injured for a quarter of the season, so he came back for a few games at the end, and obviously hit pretty hot form, and that's why you guys signed him.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a clue about him really. All I knew was he had a player of the month near the end of the season. Yeah. And when he first came, I thought, this guy could be the next Drogba, but that definitely did not turn out how he wanted it. But I think again, he's very over scrutinised, just like Nunez is, and all of the strikers now. They get so many chances, they miss them. The media is straight on them.
Yeah, I mean, because in the Premier League, strikers for the top teams, is Haaland the only person that is genuinely not getting hate? Because Højlund,
but even then, Jackson, Haaland's getting a lot of hate as well. Because everyone says he's playing football-wise, he doesn't do anything. But that's not what they need. They need someone to score the goal. So like it proved against Tottenham this week, he's exactly what definitely. They need, and that's why they're, in my opinion, the greatest Premier League sides ever.
Yeah, where do you rank when you conceded 15 goals, was it?
I think I was born around that time, so I didn't necessarily watch him.
Yeah.
But some of the Arsenal Invincibles, a lot of people don't say they're as good because they had a lot of draws, but that conceding that many goals, especially if you looked at it nowadays, no team's getting close to that with the amount of goals that people are conceding. This City team's got to be first. Nearly doing 4 in a row. I don't think that's been heard of before. There's a treble in there. And it's just no one can touch them. You go into a game, you're thinking, we're going to lose today. We're against City. You don't have that hope of winning whatsoever. I reckon probably City first, then maybe that Chelsea side, probably either the Invincibles, because it's an achievement and a half, and then maybe some other United side or something. But again, it's hard because it's always evolving. It's always evolving. I'd love to see the Invincibles versus Chelsea or this City side against that Chelsea side, see what would happen. But obviously that will never happen.
Yeah, and you're right. It's very hard to compare across eras. Let's talk about Chelsea's weaknesses. Do you have a particular area in mind that you think? Because I know it's going to be hard for you to say because you've been so good the last few games. But
prior to our recent form, it would have had to be the defence. It's good. They're all young and they're experiencing as the weeks goes on. But playing out the back, has put us in a lot of dodgy situations. And I know it's bad to single them out, but Cucurella, that left side, he's better now as an inverted, but he
Yeah,
isn't the best at defending like previous times. So definitely that we've been exploited. Defence really, it's quite sad to say, but it may give it 10 years, could be a good defence, but at the minute, bit shaky. Obviously, Thiago Silva's last game, so hopefully he's on good
yes,
form. But again, it's
yeah,
hard.
true.
Like you said, it is hard because of the recent form. I mean, obviously, we let the goal in the week, which was quite gutting. But I think recent form, the defence have picked up a bit, then we do still concede.
Yeah. I don't know what you think. I've spoken to a few people, and it seems to be this problem of inconsistency in defence. I mean, you've played. I think it's the last 4 games you've had 3 different back lines.
Yeah, it's not
So
very
you
promising.
know, Silver's starting, then he's not. Alfie Gilchrist even started recently, and it's obviously partly down to injuries. But is that a problem you think consistently, like not having the same back line every week?
Definitely. I mean, I know that Badia Shield and Disasi play together loads at Monaco, so they know how each other plays. But obviously, like you said, you've got so many different back lines. Chalabar, he's getting involved now, which is good because he's an absolutely brilliant player. Then you've got Badia Shield,
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Disasi, Gilchrist. He's trying to get a touch in, but it's hard to replace Malagusto. And obviously, we had Reece James last night, thinking, yeah, he's come back on the weekend, got an assist. He's now gone for the next like 4 games or whatever. So it's just that kind of. I think like next season we'll have Fafana back as well, and then obviously Thiago Silva will go. So it's always chopping and changing. If they were to stick with just like a back four, back three, play them week in week out, they learn how each other play. But they're not doing that at the minute.
yeah, definitely. One of I've read on Twitter. I don't know how much you'll be able to contribute to this, but against Nottingham Forest, it seemed that he struggled against a narrow block. When the Chelsea player received the ball between the double pivot, he'll close down very quickly. And I think if that's a struggle again, that could be really against us because our double pivot is Ryan Christie and Lewis Cook, who have both been phenomenal this season. Really, really improved on last season. So depending on whether we go for a narrow block or not, could potentially hold you back. But again, we don't like sit back. We're really more of a pressuring side. Have you struggled with playing out the back against sides of a high press before?
I mean, one I can picture in my head massively is Tottenham. They were quite high pressing. We managed to
Yeah,
get behind
definitely.
their back line, but I do think if they put a lot of pressure on this back line, that they will. Like I know Badia Shields had it in this season just to do an awful pass, then you got a chance. And with Solanke this season, you will probably end up scoring from it.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. We saw. Yeah, are you talking about the game where you won 4-3 against Spurs?
I
4-3?
think
Sorry, no, I'm bugging. I meant
4-1 when
3-1.
we beat them at their ground.
Yeah,
I think
3-1,
3-1,
4-1.
4-1
Yeah,
at their ground. Yeah, they were just. I don't know how. I think it was partially Postecoglou's fault because he kept going, and we just like it was just obvious how Jackson was getting in behind. That's how he plays, and if we can break the kind of the press on us, we can instantly counter attack with that pace we got up there.
yeah. I think that could potentially be an issue because we saw we played Brentford most recently, and they just put these long balls behind, and then Buemo came and scored from it. And I guess we are moving into Chelsea's strengths, which this section is going to be a lot longer than the other section. Q Correa playing inverted, you mentioned it earlier, and
Yeah.
it's great. What do you think of that?
I think it's brilliant. He needed it because, like I said previously, at left back he doesn't suit that. And I think I think he played inverted at Brighton, if I'm correct. He played kind of that similar position
Yeah,
where he's forward and get inside more, which works perfectly because he's got that dog in him, as some people say. He's ruthless and he'll keep running. But at left back he's a bit wasted. But inverted, it works perfectly, which means Malo Gusto can go on the right more, or James when he had his brief cameo. But I definitely think it's an improvement and it was much needed because, like I said, you've got so many centre backs. They can all come in and help out, so it utilises them a bit more as well.
yeah, and it's that underlapping run. I mean, for the assist for that Palmer header, which the header was incredible, but
Yeah, I don't know
credit to the
have a
cross as
clue how
well.
he done it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's because he's inside and then he makes that underlapping run out to the wing where he has so much space. I definitely think that can be a problem. And our right back is Adam Smith, and all due credit to him, he's been great this season, very consistent, but he can struggle with quick wingers and sort of tricky wingers, and if Cucurella is making that run, I could see him getting potentially caught out coming in between.
Yeah.
You also mentioned Nkunku earlier. Do you think he'll start?
I think he has to after scoring in the week. Well, Mudrik's got concussion, so he can't play,
Oh, okay.
which is quite gutting because give him time, I genuinely think he could become one of the best. Like his speed is just unbelievable. But Nkunku plays that kind of different role on the left, where we saw in the week how he kind of provides
Yeah.
Jackson more support, which he definitely needs because there's so many times he can hold up the ball, and there's just not that person next to him, which Nkunku can be. But I think he should start after scoring just so we can get a kind of a bit of form going into pre-season or into the Euros, should I say?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, the France squad is out tonight. This video will go out tomorrow, so we already know. And is Nkunku I don't know if you know if he's normally in the France squad.
I mean, obviously after his numbers last year, I mean, he'd have had an appearance. I mean, I don't know what his numbers really were, but I know they were like obscene. I know he was just
Yeah,
unbelievable for Leipzig. But obviously, injuries at Chelsea always happens. The same with Werner. Werner was brilliant for Leipzig, and I thought he was going to hit the ground running, and
yeah,
he just really didn't.
yeah. Another change that you've had in recent weeks that is potentially a factor to this new success is that Caicedo has been playing alongside Gallagher instead of Enzo Fernandez. Have you seen that as sort of a different dynamic in midfield?
I definitely think that Gallagher and Caicedo have been playing better, but not having Enzo there because I think Enzo he's had an injury all season and he wants to play forward, but he suits playing better back. And then Gallagher is kind of again going forward and then going back as well. So I think having a stable Gallagher and Caicedo for a couple of games has definitely helped us start to play with each other. But Caicedo, he's just been unbelievable. Like this, if you look at the stats and what he's been doing, the media has barely touched it. He's just been phenomenal. He makes this Chelsea team tick at the minute.
Yeah, that's really good to hear, to be honest, because of he didn't start the season great, and the media definitely sort of exacerbated the extent to which those performances were. But to hear that he's in that form that he was on before is really good to hear. But I mean, whether you bench Caicedo or you bench Enzo, you're benching a £100 million player. Because Gallagher's been very good this season. Do you think he's going to leave this summer?
I could see it happening, but I don't want to see it happening. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not going to lie. I didn't like Gallagher last season. I didn't think he offered much, but this season he's been completely different. But then again, I really like Enzo. I mean, how he performed in that World Cup, he's got it in him. He won like Young Player of the World Cup or whatever it was.
yeah,
But
I
he
think
was
so. Yeah,
unbelievable there, and he's got that potential. You saw his free kick against Aston Villa this year, and in brief cameos he's played. He's been brilliant. But obviously, he's been wanting to play, but injuries has kind of stopped him. I'm thinking anyway from what's been said. If he's had the surgery now, hopefully he can come back next season and play better. But I don't think you can bench either of them. You need to find that kind of the player like Gallagher to go in with them, same system, keep them playing together, and they could definitely be like a Pogba and Kante for years to come.
yeah, really, yeah, yeah, because they must both be quite young. What's Caicedo, like 25?
Yeah, around that 23, 25, I think. He's fairly young. Same with Enzo. I don't know how Enzo is. Like similar age, I think.
Yeah,
But they've both
Enzo
got
must
so
be a
many
bit
years.
younger. Yeah,
Both on
yeah,
really long
100%.
contracts as well.
Yeah, because that team is so young, and that's been a criticism, but also like you can see that there's got to be benefits to come from it in the future because they've all got that like really high potential, and surely they're all going to improve. And do you think next season, what kind of position in the league are you going to be aiming for?
I think top four. I don't think we're near the title winning yet. We haven't got that kind of charisma about us to win the league. Obviously, I don't think you're going to knock City off anyway. I think they're going to come back next season and give another go. Same with Arsenal, they're only getting better. But yeah, I definitely think maybe 5 years to come we could aim for the league, but especially with this young group of players. I mean, we all played football in school where if you play with your friends, the similar age group, you have more in common. You enjoy playing with them more,
Yeah,
which I do think will happen
yeah,
with this
true.
side. They're all similar age, all played in the best academies, and I definitely think that years to come we should win it. But I think they're going to sign more like experienced players this summer because they've got rid of their under 23 rule, whatever it was, where they could only sign young players, which again they've just been playing career
Yeah.
mode too long.
Yeah. Is there any other strengths that you can think of that perhaps missed out?
Cole Palmer.
Yeah,
Just on his
I had
own,
it in my
really.
notes. Yeah, I have my notes, Chelsea strengths, and I just ripped Palmer. I mean, he's incredible because he's obviously like, what's that now? 22 in the league. But how many of them are penalties? Like 10
I
more?
don't think 10. I think like 7 or 8. I think he's took like 8, 7, between 7 and 9, I'm sure. But he's not missed one. And I mean, if you thing is you've got like tricky wingers like Sterling, Madueke, and Mudryk that, but their feet are so quick, they are going to get fouled. And Palmer just wants everything. And to be fair to him, I wouldn't have wanted to take any of them penalties he's taken. Like the one against, obviously, you've got the City, the Tottenham one,
Yeah,
the one against
yeah,
Man United. Like, no one wanted to take that one. And yeah, just apart from the penalties, he's just been phenomenal. Like, if you watch Chelsea play, how he is off the ball and he wants that ball all of the time, and he is literally carrying us. If he doesn't win Player of the Season, there's something wrong because you can't have a player like Palmer. If you look at the games he's won us, he's literally carried us. Without him, I think we must have been a stat where if he didn't play, we must have been like 15th. And to have that, and now
yeah,
we're
yeah.
challenging for Europe, he has to win Player of the Season. He's outscored Hazard's best season as well now, which definitely
Really.
says something.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually going to ask you later because I had this lined up to ask you whether you thought Palmer should win Player of the Season, but I think you've given your answer there. And
Definitely.
because I said it, because I was talking about this with my friends a few weeks ago, and I was like, Palmer can't have Player of the Season because Chelsea were like 12th at the time, and I was like, you just can't give it to him when like someone like Phil Foden is going to win Man City the Premier League, and then you went and lost 5 or 6. It can't have been 6. It must have been 5 to Arsenal. Lost 5-0 to Arsenal, and Palmer wasn't playing, and I was like, that's the difference, not just in terms of scoring goals, but just cohesiveness as a team, retaining possession, all of that stuff. Palmer is making the difference there. So yeah, and I mean, you're not 12th anymore. Now you're 6th, and I think that's going to be nailed on because you're 3 points clear of, I think it's United behind, and 3 points off Spurs ahead. So I
Yeah,
think that's a
so
locked in
as
6th
long as we get
place.
Conference League, if we get Conference League, I'm happy. If we win that, we've won every single competition. So I'm kind of rooting for
Yeah,
Conference League in a way, and that would just be like playing the under-21 squad and winning every week, hopefully. But I don't think
true.
you
Yeah,
can take the Player of the Season away from Palmer. I mean, I haven't necessarily watched a lot of Foden, but I know that Foden hasn't been carrying Man City like Palmer is. I mean, you can't have a player doing that much. I mean, just the United game alone. If that game doesn't win some sort of, or help him win some sort of trophy, at least I think he's already bagged the Young Player of the Year. There's like some reports that he's had 50% of the votes, which even then
oh, okay.
that's a lot. He's practically won it, but he should really get the Player of the Season. I mean, if he had if he had these numbers in like say Arsenal or Man City, he would definitely be winning it because he's going to win a trophy. So I think that's kind
Yeah,
of what's happened in recent years, where these Player of the Seasons and these Ballon d'Ors, you're massively helped by your clubs winning trophies when realistically it should be player individual performances.
yeah, that's fair enough, and that is 100% sway towards trophies. But I guess that's the way it is. To round it off, what is your score prediction for the game?
See, I'm quite pessimistic because obviously the games like Burnley and Sheffield United this year definitely put
Hmm.
worry in it. But
I
current
mean, I don't
form,
think you should be comparing us to Burnley and Sheffield United.
no, I mean as in like just in general, you can never ever put like a definite on Chelsea
Yeah,
winning. We have a thing in my house where if you bet on Chelsea, we lose, and so many times people have done it, and we always lose. It's just like a certain thing that you do not do. I could see it being like quite a good game for goals, like maybe 3-2. Either way, I'm not sure. Hopefully, we win it. I'll probably go like 3-2 Chelsea. Similar to Brighton the other night, where it could be like we're battering and we can keep trying to score, and then all of a sudden counter attacks. You get two at the end.
yeah. I'm going for 2-2. I agree. I think there'll be lots of goals because I think we're both very attacking sides. I mean, you've scored 75 this season, I think now, compared to last season where it was something ridiculous like 38, if I'm remembering that correctly, and that was your
Oh,
lowest scoring season
it
or
was
something.
awful. The fact that João Felix won goal of the month in March because he scored the only goal just really describes our whole season. That was just diabolical.
Yeah, 100%. There's actually never been a game between Bournemouth and Chelsea at Stamford Bridge that's ended in a draw out of 10. But I think this is probably one of the seasons where we've been most closely matched in terms of like quality. But yeah, I'm going for 2-2. You reckon you'll win? I'm hoping for 2-2 at least. We want to
Definitely
finish
Dom
front.
Solanke's going to score, though. Just thought I'd put it in there. Dom Solanke's definitely scoring. Chelsea players always score against us.
Yeah.
He is definitely going to score, especially with the current form he's on. He's 1,000,000% going to score.
100%. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
So thank you for
Everyone,
having
make
me.
sure you check out Kyle's content. Like, it's just very good stuff. What would you rate this kit, by the way?
Very nice. I love the half and half. It looks sick.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. If you guys can subscribe down below, that'll massively help me out. Leave a like, comment, and that's all really. Up the chairs.